everyone, and welcome to Love Wrestling Reacts. I'm Ed Fries, and I'm joined by Carl Carafel. Down there, we got Bobby Money Munson, and we have the Wordsmith here joining us as well. Hello, Wordsmith.
Salutations. What do we think of the Rumble that was potentially royal, but we don't like royals in this part of the world, but we do, but we don't, but never mind.
That was a hell of a show.
It was long, but it was fun.
It was, like I was gonna say, I don't feel like it ever, when you have 2-hour-long Rumble matches, I don't feel like it dragged a whole lot.
Not at all.
No, not at all.
And I never felt like, oh, this show is taking forever, like WWE shows typically used to do with the 4-hour show, where it's like, oh, we have 5-10 minute matches, and I just want to, curl up and read a book or something. Everything was moving, and it was firing on all cylinders.
Except for Michelle McCool, but I won't comment on that. She was boring. There, I said it. Nobody else has to.
She was a little boring, but, the one thing I'll say is the Rumble matches, the men's had it less than the women's match, but as an overall theme, the women's match order was really fantastic because there was storylines from the moment it started kind of all the way through to the end.
Yeah.
But I guess
can't disagree.
We'll start, I guess, where they started, with Seth versus Roman, which I was pleasantly surprised was the opening match to this card. I thought this and Bobby Lashley and Brock would have switched spots, but based on how everything went tonight, it kind of had to go this way.
It was almost foretelling.
It was
when that happened. It was almost foretelling.
Yeah. And since you're talking about Carl, let's go ahead and let's go to you. Seth versus Roman. Your thoughts?
Several sheets of paper for tonight. First off, no freaking pre-show matches. I'm a little disappointed, to be honest. Pre-show matches are where you actually get to showcase some of your newer talent or up-and-coming talent, something like that, or give a little bit of a filler for somebody who should be on the main card. And there was no pre-show match. I'm a little ticked off at that. I digress. Universal match, Roman versus Rollins. Starting right off, okay, that Shield entrance, absolutely pitch perfect golden. I loved it. Fantastic. Good job. I don't know who came up with it, whether it was Rollins, whether it was WWE Creative. I don't know whoever it was. Kudos to you. The matchup was just absolutely fantastic myself. I enjoyed it. Something that I actually enjoyed a little bit more, and I'm going to let other people talk here in a moment. Something that I enjoyed a little bit more is always Pat McAfee on commentary.
Oh, yeah.
100% made that matchup. 100%.
Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, I love this from start to finish. This was a fantastic way to start the night. It got me excited for the entire night, and it didn't take away from the rest of the evening either. So, I mean, this one was fantastic, and the rest of the evening continued to make me excited as a wrestling fan to enjoy it. And damn, I had a great time with this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, it starts with, Roman getting his entrance first. You're like, that's weird. Champion coming out first. It is what it is. And then you see why when Seth goes ahead and does the Shield entrance. And I'm like, ooh, that's nice. I like that.
It was a beautiful touch.
Seth constantly doing the fist bump and laughing at Roman was fantastic. The character work from the two of these guys throughout this match was absolutely fantastic. The spear into the pedigree. Again, we see it again for the first time in a long time that we've seen this. Love when we see the spear into the pedigree. Lots of 2.5s in this match. Lots of it was a couple near falls where I thought Seth was winning in the first 5 minutes of this match. And I'm like, that makes sense. Like, he's so off balance and he's so off kilter without the Usos, with no Paul Heyman out there. And then Seth does this and it just gets Roman off his game and he gets beat easy. I'm like, cool, that's believable. But he gets so off his game with Seth after getting hit with the spear. Seth's laughing and trying to get the fist bump, that Roman locks him in the guillotine and refuses to give it up. I've seen a lot of people very unhappy with the DQ finish here. I love it. I think it's perfect. It has made this is what Kenny Omega should have been the moment he lost his Impact Championship. This maniacal, evil, crazy man who just can't cope with not being the one in charge and the one running the show. And when everything's falling around him, he loses control and just refuses to do it, snaps, grabs one steel chair, beats the hell out of Seth with it. Looks like he's going to walk away, comes back, grabs another one, and does it again. I mean, just picture perfect booking.
There was not a lot in this pay-per-view that really I was mad about, but I do have to say, and I have to quote Michael Cole here when he, inside of that matchup, decided to say, Roman's got to stop this when he was talking about the chair shots to Seth Rollins. I am saying WWE production needs to stop this with the shifting of the camera angles continuously after every half a second. Oh my God, it takes away from the show for me, unfortunately. But that right there, like, I loved it. Cole coming out there going, Roman's got to stop this. It just added an extra little element to it of going, you know that Roman's pretty pissed off right now. And they're actually like, somebody, please, like, somebody's got to stop this. That was fantastic commentary, I think.
Yeah, and at the same time, Seth Rollins gets the sympathetic babyface turn in a sense at the end of this whole thing. People were firmly behind him. I think this is the best we've seen out of Seth Rollins in quite some time as well, too.
Yes.
Absolutely. These guys, this character work was absolutely fantastic. Nothing bad to say about this. We then move on to the Women's Royal Rumble.
I'm sorry. Do I not get an opinion about this match? Am I chopped liver? Nobody watches my show, so I don't get an opinion on Love Wrestling. The conscience doesn't get to talk. I know. I get it. Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a quick little story. Here at Castle Wordsmith, we do not abide by the World Wrestling Entertainment philosophy of let's watch it and be lovey-dovey with everything on the product. Not saying that everyone on this show is, but you know who you are, and it's fine. I just have a problem with how that company works exactly sometimes. However, the opening contest, as someone who is a lapsed / driven away because it sucks fan, I fucking loved the opening of this pay-per-view simply because I know what happened and I don't need to be told, well, this has happened for the last 3 weeks and this is a big poor pay-per-view, and tell me a story long term. And that's what I like. Call me old-fashioned, but I like people with relationships that actually, last more than 3 weeks, because I'm a picky person like that, I suppose. No, I loved it. I thought the psychology was brilliant. And anybody that's mad about a DQ finish doesn't know what psychology is. So you're wrong. This isn't Hell in a Cell, Seth versus Fiend. So there you go.
Yeah, Brian Alvarez, you heard it here. You don't know.
Yeah, well, look who he hangs out with.
I know. But yeah, so then we go on to the Women's Rumble. I'm going to go. I don't have the order of exit, but I do have the order of entry and who eliminated who. So the 30 women in this match in order are Sasha, Melina, Tamina, Kelly, Aaliyah, Liv, Zelina, Bianca, Dana, Michelle McCool, Sonya Deville, Natalia, Cameron, Naomi, Carmella, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Ivory, Brie Bella, Mickie James, Alicia Fox, Nikki ASH, Summer Rae, Nikki Bella, Sarah Logan, Lita, Mighty Molly, Ronda Rousey, Shotzi Blackheart, and Shayna Baszler. Does anybody want to go ahead and start with this one?
I would love to, if I may. I have 2 points. Couldn't give 2 shits about the rest of the match. I loved it. I love Royal Rumbles there. I said it could be male, could be female, it could be mixed. I'm open to it. It doesn't matter. They're always fun if they're paced right. This one I really liked. And because I got to see the Impact Knockouts Championship on WWE TV, oh my God. Give me more of that. Actually, no, don't give me more of that. Replay that all day, every day. Because that's what she needed, and that's what she got. And I'm really happy there's vindication there. Also, Ivory. Can we talk about that? That didn't even do anything.
She gave
Fantastic.
a sermon. She gave a sermon.
It was amazing. And as someone who does, what's my show name? Oh yeah, Poetry of a Promo. You want to talk about ballsy moves? Whoever said, Ivory, go out and cut a promo.
Hey,
you're a brilliant person and you need more money.
A lot of people came out tonight and got a quick paycheck, and kudos to them.
Exactly. Grab the money, run, and go back to something that you like doing. Whoops, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
I mean, some of them got it paid in crypto, but you know.
Well, you know, you win some. That's the wrestling business, kid.
But yeah, Ivory coming out to the right to censor. Cameron being eliminated by Sonya Deville because they brought back that it was her and Naomi who started it as the Funkadactyls, and Sonya's like, wait, so Naomi will be upset by this? And I'm like, no, not really. They feuded before Cameron left the company, but sure, go ahead. It's a story at least. Let's see, other people who came back. Mickie James getting her moment in the sun with Michelle McCool after all the Piggy James stuff and crap like that they did back in that terrible, terrible time. Nikki ASH and Ronda and Shayna Baszler. I'm sorry, Mighty Molly. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. The return of Sarah Logan in that moment with Liv Morgan. I mean, just this Rumble was chock full of fantastic storytelling moments from the beginning to the end. I mean, Sasha starting with Melina being one of Sasha's idols. Like, it's unbelievable. Now, I have a question for people here. Do we think Melina accidentally fell off that, or was that supposed to be where she got eliminated? Because I felt like that one was a botch.
I think that was where
it
was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And then,
I can buy that.
Yeah. Thoughts on Zelina Vega eliminating Sasha Banks?
It's interesting.
Yeah.
What's interesting about it? We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. And I love that. And I love that they're allowing that to kind of play out. Like, that's, again, storytelling. They've just given us the beginning of a new story. That was the introduction. And now we're going to be getting the next chapter coming soon.
Bobby?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, let's see where it goes from there. I like the build to it. It's a wonderful opportunity to flesh out something we haven't seen before, and very interesting.
And Carl, any of the moments that you wanted to?
My great takeaways from this, obviously, Sarah Logan, that was a huge pop that she got when she came back, and I was super excited about it as well. What else did I have here? Of course, Mickie James with the hardcore country music, the Impact title. Even the graphics said the Impact Women's Champion, which was fantastic to see. Ivory right to censor and only on the microphone. She can still talk on that mic, and it was absolutely fantastic. Sonya Deville pulling Naomi out. That was fantastic for me. Pure classic is what I have written down for that. Sasha Banks with that Sailor Moon outfit. Perfect. I love seeing the hair was a little bit of a mess. That could have maybe, you know, had something maybe better done with it. But that was great. Of course, Lita is my absolute favorite women's wrestler of all time. And I mean, definitely, holy hell, still hot and still can work inside of that ring. I love it. Love it.
Anybody else have any other thoughts on Ronda going to WrestleMania now?
I think it's great
Everything about
storytelling.
it was fine.
It was broadly fine.
Except for the fact that it's Ronda Rousey who, oh, look, she came back. Oh, look, she's in the main event. Permission to shoot for a second. Maybe she can keep her shoulder down this time and not make the main event look like crap. Whoops. Go back and watch that match. Her shoulders were up because she wasn't that good at the time. There. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I've said that since the moment that main event. People are like, it's the greatest women's match at WrestleMania. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. There have been so many better women's matches at WrestleMania during times where they didn't give a crap about women's wrestling matches.
You see Bobby's comment down there, Bobby's last comment. I think I would kind of like to see that as well. And if you watched the pay-per-view closely, the premiere live event, if you watched it closely, you could kind of see the good interaction that was happening between the two of them, with Lita even hitting a twist of fate on Charlotte. Is this maybe a story tell? Are we maybe going to see something a little further with this?
I hope they can hold out till WrestleMania for that one instead of just blowing it like next week on SmackDown.
Me too.
Yeah. I also liked the use of Bianca Belair with Charlotte and in the Final Four with Shayna and Ronda. That was interesting usage of Bianca.
And she must have held some sort of record for the longest without being eliminated from a Royal Rumble matchup, considering that she won last year's Royal Rumble match from spot number 3, entered spot number 8 tonight, and was within the Final Four.
Yeah, she's got to be up there with, what is it? Jericho had Jericho had a huge long spell at some point?
Yeah, he had quite a long one at one point for sure. I think Mysterio was at like 62 minutes when he won too.
Yeah. We then move on to Becky Lynch versus Drew Drop. And my notes, I have no notes. Winner is Becky. It's a Becky Lynch match, which means I didn't watch because she is, as I will continue to say, she is the clumsiest, most discoordinated great wrestler that I've ever seen.
Fair assessment. This was better than it deserved to be. I mean, I really had no interest in it, but I didn't hate it. I mean, it was kind of that break match in between everything else. It was definitely the weakest on the card for sure, but that's definitely not a slight against it at the same time. I mean, it was a generally strong card from the WWE in general, and it's hard to say that every match was a winner. This wasn't quite up to par with everything else, but it still wasn't terrible.
I mean, and this is coming from somebody, I love Doudrop, and I think she's got, Piper Niven, whatever you want to call her, Viper. I think she's got all the talent in the world. I watched her in WCPW. I watched her in, some of her stuff from Stardom. She has got all the talent in the world, and it just felt like there was almost zero chemistry between her and Becky in this match for me. I don't know if I don't know how often Becky's had to work with a bigger opponent to that size. We can't call us. We have to call a spade here. Doudrop's a bigger girl. She's fantastic and she's amazing and she's lovely, but she's a bigger girl and it's not easy to put on a match with somebody like that. Sometimes for people who aren't ready to do it or aren't. They don't have the right flow set. And I think Becky Lynch's skill set doesn't, in my mind, portray her to have that kind of a match. That being said, Becky wins. Interesting. I like the finish. She can't hit the manhandle slam because she can't get her up. But once she's on the second rope, boom, now I have the ability. Second rope man slam for the win.
And that was a very good way to do that. There was a great way to end that matchup and have Becky look strong, as well as Doudrop still, coming out of this looking strong. Can't take anything away from Doudrop from that matchup, because she went out there and gave everything that she possibly could. My only notes on this were the competitors were announced in the ring, giving a big fight feel. I love that the WWE is doing that. Doudrop's cannonball into the stairs looked a little scary. I thought for sure that she had concussed herself at first. That looked really bad and unfortunately came off sloppy. The attendance for the night after the matchup they gave us was 44,390. And what about that WrestleMania sign? Wow, I think that was maybe, yes, I was just the natural Astrid coming in there with exactly what I was just thinking and just going to say. She says the situation with the WrestleMania sign also took away from the matchup. 100% it did. 100%. People were not invested in this matchup because they were looking over that way at the WrestleMania sign that was on fire while they were evacuating people from underneath it. And I think that because of that, the match didn't get what it should, because I will say, even myself, I was distracted because they were distracted, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on, because I have friends that were there and I'm like, oh God, what's going on? So yeah, I think Astrid is 100% correct in that. That unfortunately took away from it.
Mm-hmm. Wordsmith, any thoughts?
I thought this match was fire. You can move on now. I'm sorry, I've been waiting 5 minutes to make that joke, and somehow it actually worked in. So, mission complete. Check that off the old list and add it to the resume.
We then got Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. And I have the beginning of this match written down because I thought that it was going to be a short match. And I had to stop writing it at some point. But I loved the beginning sequences of this match with they get into the hold, and neither guy really gets the advantage. They go back in. Brock gets a German. Bobby gets up. Bobby gets a German. Then Brock gives two more Germans. Bobby says, screw it. I'm done fighting you. I'm going to start punching you. So that he starts beating up Brock and then hits two spears. Goes to the outside. Brock goes to the outside. Bobby misses the spear to the outside. Brock, by the way, is fantastic when this new current run of Brock has been fantastic because he's being funny and he's having fun and he's having a ball. And you can see it. He's like, no, I'm smarter. And he's laughing and he's got a smile on his face. I did love Michael Cole's. No, it wasn't Michael Cole. It was Jimmy Smith. Is there anything scarier than Brock Lesnar smiling?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar smiling and learning from past mistakes.
Yeah.
That's the note that I have for this. Holy crap. He's learning still. This is terrifying. He's like a Terminator that merged with a gorilla that can murder people, and it's terrifying. And he can think, cut me off whenever you want, whenever you're good and scared, because that man is, whatever. It is what it is. He's a scary person. Bobby Lashley's no slouch himself, but Jesus.
Brock then went for an F5. After Bobby missed a spear back in the ring. And Bobby then gets out of that directly into the Hurt Lock. And Brock sold like a mother trucker in that Hurt Lock. Like, I was like, oh, Brock's going to sell for a couple seconds and then break out of it. No big deal. Nope. Brock sold his ass off for Bobby Lashley. I don't know who convinced him, because all the rumors were that Brock didn't want to look bad losing to somebody who's a mixed martial artist, which is the reason why we never got this match up until now. I don't know who finally got into Brock's ear to be like, no, you're fine. You can do this. Maybe Brock's decided he's not going back to the Octagon. And maybe that's where he's like, it doesn't matter now. I'm not going back to the UFC. I don't have to worry about it. But him selling in that Hurt Lock felt like a good 2 minutes. He then throws himself into Bobby Lashley, into the referee, hits the F5 onto the referee, who's already down. Poor referee. And then gets the pin, but nobody's there to count it. And I'm like, oh, well, we know where this is going now.
Yep.
Out comes Roman, hits the spear. He then looks over at Paul Heyman and demands the title. Paul Heyman reluctantly gives it to him. He hits Brock Lesnar with the title, starts to walk away. A new referee who's obviously seen everything that's gone down decides to count the pin. Whatever, cool, we'll go with it. Bobby Lashley gets the win, and Heyman follows Roman to the back. This is part 2 of fantastic storytelling on the night by WWE with this whole Brock, Roman, everything going on. And it made Bobby, like, and my thing with this is it didn't make Bobby feel like a schlub. Like, he won this match because Roman interfered, but it still felt like he won the match. And he won the title. Ash popping in saying Heyman missed his tribal chief.
Yeah.
You all can say that, Bobby Lashley won. I say Brock Lesnar didn't lose.
Yeah.
100% Brock Lesnar did not lose. Sure, the title may be gone, but there is so much more that is going to come of this afterwards, especially with this whole Roman Reigns coming in. I'm looking at my notes here, and Roman hit Lesnar. Lesnar gets the pin. I have Boo earns, but then I also have set up for obviously a Lesnar and Reigns. And then I even had written down there, could we possibly see Lesnar winning something else? So, unfortunately, the storytelling was great. It was all fantastic in that respect. But again, it was foretelling, which I'm sorry. Give me a little bit more excitement than that, please. But it was great. I loved seeing all of this. Astrid had actually in the comments made a comment there that Bobby Lashley was landing awkwardly with those German suplexes that were happening. He was like landing on his shoulder and his side. It was really awkward. Yeah, that's all the notes I have.
Bobby?
Yeah, I mean, I really liked where this whole night went. I mean, you're right. It was very foretelling. At the same time, I still like the fact that they went with continuity and narrative for the first time in a while. And that's what made it exciting. Whether it was foretelling or not, it was foretelling leading up to a WrestleMania that can actually feel like something big again. And this whole night felt big, and this match felt big. It was portrayed in that sense. Bobby Lashley as champion, fantastic. I love it. Great match.
Wordsmith.
Liked it. It was two big guys fighting. No problems with that. Didn't have a problem with the ending because, like I said, I'm not as invested as certain people on this panel, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, I did like the angle, and I will be keeping the old spectacles on it to be like, I hope something fun happens from this, because it could, but it could also just be a really drawn out, boring storyline. But I hope it's not, because this was interesting. Kept me thinking, yeah, that makes sense. But along the lines of what Carl was saying, it is a little bit like, oh, well, of course Brock's gonna do something later on. And of course that's gonna happen. But it made sense. And that's good.
Yeah.
Right?
For once, WWE storytelling, you can follow it. It's like beat. It's like, okay, cool. I can see the line that goes from here to here. It's not like, oh, we're going to do this thing and then drop it for 4 months and then bring it back all of a sudden out of the clear blue and then drop it 3 weeks later. Like, no, the whole night was built around a narrative. Now, this narrative at the end of the night is going to definitely be a controversial narrative with how the night ends, but at least they've decided, here's the narrative we want to go with, and let's see what happens. So I'm all for them telling a story. We always complain WWE doesn't know how to tell a story. We always complain that they don't give the fans a story and do the things that they want to do. We were supposed to get Reigns versus Roman at Royal Rumble. At day one. Yeah. But Roman's tested positive, so we had to move that around.
Roman was going to fight himself? Reigns versus Roman? Did I miss something? Did he clone himself?
Roman.
What?
I'm sure WWE has a clone of Roman somewhere just in case.
Oh, they're probably like, damn it, we need to protect Roman. Fine.
It's like Taker versus Taker all over again. Roman versus Reigns.
Stop it. Don't say things you can't take back. Stop it.
Astrid giving us the inside information that they're working on it. Cloning Roman Reigns.
Fatal 4-way, Roman versus himself.
Bobby brings up an interesting question in the chat.
Roman versus Taker versus Roman versus Taker. I would buy that.
That could be good. Bobby brings up an interesting chat. With having dispatched of Doudrop, we didn't really talk about what happens next for Becky. Do we think she has any more challenges? He says, who will wrestle Becky Lynch at the next pay-per-view? My question is, do we think we see Becky Lynch defend her title between now and Mania? Because I think it's Ronda, right?
Yeah. She's carrying into Mania against Ronda, guaranteed. Yeah, that's the narrative. It's the perfect narrative for what's going on, and that's the way it's going to go down.
I think we're going to see just... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry. Just mine was quick, I promise. I think she's going to pick and choose. She's going to pick off the weak ones. Just like, see, I'm defending it. It's going to be short matches. She's going to be like, oh, well, I was here. See you later, losers. And Ronda's going to chase her out of every arena that they're in. Because she knows that it's like, I'm going to do something, but yeah, that's my idea.
I was thinking very much so along the same lines. It's not going to be anybody interesting. It's not going to be anybody big. It's just going to be a couple of different matches that are put out there. And I mean, they've got this show over in another country, we'll say, that's going to be happening with the Elimination Chamber. And yeah, I mean, it would be good if they had their champions over there and wrestling and working. Now, are they going to give us, because of where the area is, are they actually going to give us a championship match with the women over there? Or is it going to be just another thrown together? We don't know at this point, but I mean, it's just going to be thrown at her. It's just going to be nobodies that are thrown just so that she can, as Wordsmith says, just kind of pick them off until Mania, when we get Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch.
We finally get the one-on-one match that everybody's apparently really, really wants. And I'm like, can I just get Ronda versus Charlotte again? That one was really good.
And I respect you, but you're wrong. No one wants it. Please stop. I hate Charlotte Flair. I'm so bored. I've seen Ric Flair before. stop. Just stop. And I know that's not fair to Flair, but you know what? That was 30 years ago. Okay? 30 years ago. There, I'm done. I'll get off my soapbox.
I'm going to throw the
You're fine.
chop that way.
You have to woo at the same time,
drink
Bobby.
my non-sponsored Dr. Pepper. So I don't know.
Speaking of 30 years, we then have the mixed tag match between the It couple versus the Grit couple. We have Miz and Maurice taking on Edge and Beth Phoenix. Bobby, go ahead and give your thoughts on this match.
Yeah, again, I had fun with this. Once again, there was nothing wrong with it. It played out exactly kind of like I thought it would from start to finish. Yeah, this was just fun. It was a fun match to have on the Royal Rumble. I don't know how much more I can add to it. I mean, it's late at night. I'm tired, man. But this was a good time, and everyone came out looking good in this match.
Carl?
So I'll read through my notes for this matchup here quickly. Both entrances, first off, were straight fire. I loved both of their entrances.
Yeah.
Beth Phoenix with a great kind of Bull Nakano-ish look to her with the hair and the makeup. Absolutely loved that. The spot between Beth and Maurice with the rotation, the good rotation that they had back and forth into the double down, played very, very nicely. Maurice with a Hurricanrana. Okay, now there you go. All the haters out there talking about Maurice and her being, just this eye candy. She can actually work, and she proved it tonight. It was done very nicely. I see in there Astrid saying the double glam slam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Before that, we had the double spear, the double glam slam. Lots of doubles going on in this matchup tonight. It was fantastic. It was fun to watch, and I'm glad that it took place. Do we need another one? No. This was perfect.
One and done. Wordsmith.
I like everybody in this match, and I went into this going, well, I know they did the Brood stuff, and I know they did some other stuff with this, and I loved it. That's all I have to say. Edge doesn't get worse with age, and it confuses me that this guy is still wrestling. And Beth Phoenix, say what hasn't been said, and the Miz and Maurice are they're awful, but I love them for it. And the fact that where Maurice is from, she's perfect, and I hope she's playing the character. But part of me thinks maybe that's the way she is, which is fine. If that's the way you are, that's fine. But the other thing, I just love how this skirts the real, who these people are, and you can tell it's not, oh well, you said something about my wife that a scriptwriter wrote, and it's I just loved the chemistry, and yes, all fun, all good. I can't believe I'm saying good things about WWE tonight, but I am, so clip that.
And before we move on, I want to go ahead and say thanks to our sponsors. And support for Love Wrestling is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code LOVEWRESTLING at manscaped.com. I've gotten mine, and the Lawnmower 4.0 is fantastic. The spotlight, the 4000K LED spotlight, makes it easy to be able to see even when you're trying to bend around and move around to make sure that you get all the right spots. I don't get the cutting edge with the ceramic blades makes it so that I don't get any nicks or cuts. It's absolutely fantastic. The wireless charging makes it easy, so I can just go ahead and pop it on the charger wherever, and I don't have to worry about when I need to use it, it's not ready. It's just absolutely fantastic. Remember, get 20% off and free shipping worldwide with the code LOVEWrestling at manscaped.com. manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com when you use the code LOVEWrestling. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tool for the job with Manscaped. We also have, with our sponsors, we have RK Athletics. Rich King does all kinds of fantastic things in the Edmonton, Alberta area, whether it be wrestling with RCW and other promotions, whether it be sponsoring all of our programming. So go ahead and give Rich King a follow at RK Athletics 1 on Facebook and Instagram, on Twitter and Instagram. He has accepting clients now for in-person in the Edmonton, Alberta area and online personal training. Parrish always touts the fantastic physique that Rich King has. So go ahead and give Rich a follow over there. And remember that we now have a What a Maneuver store. So go ahead and check out all the wonderful designs, whether it be the Between Two Beards line, whether it be the Blowing the Budget line, whether it be the natural Astrid Pizarro in her own line of shirts and hoodies and things like that. You can find that at whatamaneuver.net/collections/love-wrestling-ca. And for any of your other Love Wrestling needs, you can go ahead and go to lovewrestling.ca/shop, where you can get this fantastic mug for Sunday brunch, which will be happening tomorrow with our own Parrish and Bobby Munson and a handful of guests that I believe are confirmed for tomorrow morning. So go ahead and give that a look. We now move on to our main event, gentlemen. And in our main event, we had the Men's Royal Rumble. And I'm going to give a quick rerun of, like I did with the women's. AJ Styles, Nakamura, Austin Theory, Bob Roode, Ridge Holland, Montez Ford.
Who the hell is that guy? Who is that man? No, and before you continue, I need to get something off my chest. If you're going to tell me that this is Sheamus's protege,
yeah,
where was the interaction? I'm a lapsed fan, and and I know he's controversial, but it's after dark, and the wordsmith has no chains this week, or last week, or whatever. I'm going to get in trouble and fined for this. But to quote the notorious Conor McGregor, who the fuck is that guy? I've never seen you before. I've never heard of you before. And you don't make me want to seek more information about you. You are a crap protege. There, I said it. Move on. I apologize for nothing.
So after Montez Ford, we had Damian Priest coming at number 8, Sami Zayn, Johnny Knoxville, Angelo Dawkins, or if you're Michael Cole, Hawkins, Omos, Ricochet, Chad Gable, Dominic Mysterio, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Sheamus, Rick Boogs, Madcap Moss, Matt Riddle, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio, Kofi Kingston, Otis, Big E, Bad Bunny, which WWE spoiled for me, and I'm still upset at them for that, Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, and the eventual winner of the Royal Rumble, 30th entrant,
Cody Rhodes.
Yes, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes will challenge Roman Reigns for the Triple H championship at WrestleMania. No. Brock Lesnar won the Rumble. There's a lot of fun to be had in here, but I'm going to go ahead and let Bobby go ahead and talk about some of the things he liked in this.
There was a lot of fun in here, and again, the narrative played out as per usual. I'm sure a lot of people will love the fact that Bad Bunny was in here. I don't care about Bad Bunny being in here, quite personally. I mean, I don't mind a celebrity being in again, like with Johnny Knoxville. It's fine as long as it doesn't get too carried away. Bad Bunny seemed to last a really long time for somebody who's not a competitive professional wrestler. A little bit bothering, but aside from that, hey, I had a lot of fun with this. There was great things that happened within this match, a lot of fun people, and again, Saskatchewan's own Brock Lesnar coming out on top. I can't complain.
Carl.
Well, thank you. So I'll read through my notes quick here. I honestly thought that AJ Styles was going to win this.
Yeah.
The way that AJ Styles came out as number 1, doing a interesting Shawn Michaels pose up at the top of the entrance ramp before making his way down. Immediately, I thought, this is it. AJ Styles is winning. He's going number 1 all the way through and winning it, which we know didn't happen. Omos's slap to Ricochet sounded like a steel chair hitting a ring post. My God, Ricochet's heart stopped for 5 minutes, I swear.
I love how Ricochet just, by the way, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off for a second.
No, it's fine.
When he hit that slap, Ricochet didn't like wrestling fall. Ricochet fell.
Yeah.
Like he went from a semi-vertical position to on the mat.
Yeah.
It's because his heart stopped. He had no control. He was just done. Oh. Shout out to Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, Astrid, I felt that one too. Astrid coming in there saying I felt it. Dolph Ziggler, 15th Royal Rumble. Good for him. That is fantastic. Rick Boogs. I have not paid very much attention to Rick Boogs, but he really showed me tonight. He's quite the little powerhouse, isn't he?
Yeah.
I was impressed with Rick Boogs. Madcap Moss eliminating AJ Styles. That was a low point for me. I'm going, did it have to be Madcap? I mean, again, who would it have been? I don't know, but it just seems like Madcap Moss really isn't the caliber to be eliminating AJ Styles unless maybe they're trying to plan something. But even then, there was no build for anything coming out of this. The power of Otis. I have always been from the very beginning a fan of Otis, and the power of Otis be with you. That's all I got to say about that. Bad Bunny, I know, Bobby, that you said, shit, garbage. But I thought he kind of looked good in this matchup. I was surprised with his athleticism and the moves that he did. Now, he was carried the entire time. I get it.
Yeah.
But the people that he worked with genuinely made him look good, which makes me wonder, are they going to be using him in any other capacity? Maybe going towards this road to WrestleMania. The last thing, second last thing, Brock Lesnar winning. I love it. I've always been a Brock Lesnar fan. From his beginnings, I've been a Brock Lesnar fan, and I am okay with that. Kofi Kingston botched tonight.
Oh yeah.
I have botched question mark on Kofi's elimination by
you
KO.
could tell. Yeah, because he kind of lifted the feet after, hoping they didn't catch it, but it was.
I feel so bad for that. So bad. I mean, that was a quick elimination for Kofi, and normally we get the, him jumping around and getting back into the ring 16 times within the matchup. We got 0 of that because there was a botch, unfortunately. It happens. It happens in the world of professional wrestling. Yep. Naomi didn't do it either, as Astrid says there. Yeah.
But I like how with Naomi, she went to do it, and they used it as a storyline to have the eliminated Sonya Deville pull her out. So at least with Naomi's, it makes sense. Like, obviously with Kofi's, it's just poor bad luck. And I like how Owens played it off. Like, no, his feet touched. Like, he's doing what he should do.
Yeah.
Which is, no, his feet touched. He needs to be eliminated.
Yeah.
Kofi got so much height, it's hard to believe he would have been able to catch on. I know that he's incredibly athletic, but he's been around for so long doing this kind of stuff. It's no surprise this late in his career that he wasn't quite able to catch on from that kind of height.
Even if they would have gone around it and not even replayed his feet touching the ground or anything, people wouldn't have even cared because they're expecting Kofi to be doing these amazing things. So, I mean, I don't know if it was a production thing, if it was a Vince in the back thing. I don't know what it was that said, hey, his feet actually touched the ground. Show that camera again. Make sure that that gets put out there. I don't know. But if they wouldn't have done that, I think people would have been oblivious to it because it's Kofi Kingston.
I didn't realize his feet touched until they started making a big to-do about it on the outside. When the ref ran over and started talking to Kofi, and when Kevin Owens was in the ring pointing at Kofi and going, no, his feet touched.
Because it wasn't on camera at first.
Yeah.
They had the hard cam so that it was, you saw Kofi going into, right? And you never even saw his feet. So that's why I say nobody would have even known. So, yeah, I think it was played off.
But you know what? Nobody would have known a long time ago, pre-social media and having phones on cameras and stuff like that. The live audience would have got the message around so quick that it would have ruined them right away. That I think they had to make that decision that, no, they touched. We have to go with it out.
True.
A couple of things I wanted to make a point about. Johnny Knoxville had the great celebrity spot. Like, it was like the perfect kind of, you don't belong. Like, so we had the two different ends of the in my mind, the celebrity spectrum, because Bad Bunny is a guy who went to the PC and got training and wants to be a good professional wrestler in the ring. Like, if he's going in, he wants to make it look good and he wants to have a great match. And like Carl said, I think he really did a good job tonight of, making it look good. His stuff looked fantastic. He's taking it seriously. And then you have Johnny Knoxville, which is the celebrity appearance for the sake of, we're promoting their movie and we need their money. So Johnny Knoxville gets to come in the Rumble. But his was funny. He came in like a dweeb, like an idiot, goes ahead and does his thing, takes down Sami Zayn and does his thing. Then he gets into it with AJ. AJ's like, all right, go ahead. And he hits AJ, and AJ is like, ooh, that was more than I expected. Okay, my turn. And AJ gives him the sequence, and Johnny falls down. And I thought there was a missed opportunity when Sami steals the Helluva Kick finish to knock Johnny Knoxville out. I was surprised because I put my head down to write in my notes that then Sami Zayn was eliminated by Ridge, because I thought that would have been a great spot to give Ridge Holland to eliminate Sami, because he was the one getting ready to set up to eliminate Johnny Knoxville. But then you gave it to AJ. I thought that was fun. All the Omos stuff was great. He did exactly what he needed to do. No more, no less. It was just what it needed to be. I love how I have written down the people who eliminated Omos were AJ Styles, Theory, Ridge, Ricochet, Gable, Dom. Basically everybody who was in the ring at the time. Gable getting everybody together and, no, guys, we need a plan. I love that. I thought that was great. Continuing more of Chad Gable's thing with, the Alpha Academy and having a plan and doing all this stuff. It's, again, they were telling stories and doing great character work throughout all this entire event. Bad Bunny looked great. RK Bro looked really good for the short time that they were allowed to be together, because Brock is Brock. Randy got a huge pop in St. Louis. I mean, obviously it's his hometown, but babyface Randy Orton. I really would have loved to have seen Riddle do the turn here on Randy, and have been like, Randy, it's everybody, everybody for themselves. I would have liked to have seen that. I still don't know who eliminated Ray. I honestly missed it. I have no clue who eliminated Ray. Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon. I love the idea of bringing Shane back, because I love the idea of Shane being upset that his dad has a new toy and his dad doesn't pay enough attention to him. And so that, I want, at Mania, I'm cool with, on one of the 2 nights of 4-hour WrestleManias, having a fun match between Shane McMahon and Austin Theory. But if you're going to do that, shouldn't Shane have been in the ring with Austin Theory? That was the only negative I had for this entire Rumble. Otherwise, I think it's great. I love Brock Lesnar winning. I had AJ winning. I thought he was going to win. I really thought at the moment he came out at 1. I was upset that he didn't come out at 2 because I was hoping Sammy would come out at 1, because then you continue that conspiracy thing. Like, that makes all the sense in the world. But is what it is. AJ didn't win. The other thing to say about all of the Rumbles as a whole, no NXT, not one. Not one NXT in the entire night. I thought was a surprise.
Yeah.
I thought we'd see 1 or 2 here or there, especially in the Women's Rumble. But overall, the Men's Rumble was pretty fun. It wasn't as good as the Women's Rumble. I think the Women's Rumble was much better this year.
Mm-hmm.
Lots more stories told, lots more flow. But the Men's Rumble was pretty fun. And the show as a whole was pretty good.
I think the only other missed point that I think that they had in the Men's Rumble is first, Rey Mysterio was eliminated by Otis.
Okay, Otis.
Yes. Who eliminated Johnny Knoxville?
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
So why did we not have Wee Man run down to the ring, get in there, start throwing some hands with Sami Zayn, and have Sami Zayn pick him up and just toss him into a bunch of people? Like,
because this isn't GCW.
Because Wee Man stuck in the back, sucking on a chili dog. That's why. I mean, it's plain and simple.
I don't know. It just would have given a good little bit of comedic relief, because what we saw from Johnny Knoxville, I mean, sure, yeah, maybe, okay, haha. It was shit. It was crap. I did not like the whole like everything, but I get it. This would have actually given me a little bit of that comedic relief to have Wee Man come down to the ring and just have Sami Zayn pick him up and throw him or something. Throw him into Johnny Knoxville and then just kind of be like, see ya. I think that was a missed opportunity.
I mean, I think they wasted the Wee Man, spot when they had Brock put him through whatever the hell Brock put him through on SmackDown, right? Apparently. So maybe that's why they didn't. Maybe he only had one spot in him for the company during the promotion of this thing. And they were like, well, we'll give it to Brock. It'll be fun.
They're all a bunch of jackasses. All they're going to do is go out there and self-mutilate and do all this crazy shit. So who cares how many
I'm trying to come up with something. I don't know who any of,
I appreciate it.
I don't know who any of these people are other than Johnny Knoxville, because I don't watch Jackass. I've never watched Jackass. I don't find it funny. Same reason why I don't find ridiculousness funny either.
Right. I only know the two, Wee Man and Knoxville.
Yeah.
So,
Wordsmith, any thoughts from you on the Men's Royal Rumble?
I think AJ Styles had the verbal moment of the match, and it calls back to the Jackass star, I guess, if you want to call him that. He's a film star. Questionable, but still, he's in movies, maybe. When AJ said straight to the hard cam, "What a jackass," I died straight up. I was like, having AJ Styles, who's like one of the most no nonsense, doesn't care most of the time, like, this is who he is, be like, what a jackass. I was like, that's perfect. That's all the promotion the movie needs. Just need a soccer mom haircut saying he's a jackass. And I didn't pay attention to anything else that was happening at the time. It was perfect. But overall, I thought it was a rumble. Can't say it was in my favorite rumbles, but it kept me interested. There was a couple people who I don't know who the hell you are, and you didn't let me learn who they are because timing, I suppose. Also, that Freddie Mercury looking guy, why isn't he bigger?
Rick Boogs?
Oh, yeah.
Boogs.
Why isn't Boogs like the most important person in the company? I don't know who you are.
He
but I
plays the
want to know
electric guitar
everything.
for Shinsuke Nakamura. Come on.
He does.
Right? Yeah.
He plays
Yeah.
Nakamura to the ring.
This guy's $1 million idea. And I'm not even like Man Mountain Rock could have been cool, but this guy makes that look stupid. And it's amazing. And I want more of it. And I want a percentage of it because I came up with the idea myself. Just give him his own TV show. Like if the Bellas, the most boring, and we're gonna go back to the Women's Royal Rumble. Why were the Bellas there? Who wanted that? They're legends. No, they're not. Shut up.
Nikki wanted to wrestle for her kid.
Yeah. So did Michelle McCool. And last time I checked, Michelle McCool wanted to bring her kid down to ringside. Sure.
I mean, her kid's favorite wrestler isn't even her dad, which is the funniest thing in the world to me.
Well, we all make mistakes. I suppose I won't go any further on that, but yeah. I don't know. It was a Royal Rumble, and I was thoroughly entertained. And Brock winning is interesting, but I hope it goes somewhere that's more interesting.
Yeah. And with that, we covered the entire Rumble. It was a fun show. We all seemed to have a really good time. We were all clamoring, like at the end, we're all like, all right, cool, let's go ahead and do this. And not because of the last time that I remember having Bobby on one of these post shows. He was like, oh my God, the Finn Balor. This was, that was the last time I remember having Bobby on a post WWE show. And I'm like, please be a good show. I like it when Bobby likes wrestling.
I like it when Bobby likes wrestling as well, too. And I've liked a lot of wrestling lately. And this was no exception. I had a good night tonight. I've been drinking. I've been having a good old time. And I thought I'd bring the fun for once. So,
yes, bring more fun. We all like fun. Speaking of fun, we're going to go ahead and give our plugs. And we're going to start with the Wordsmith, who announced some news about Poetry of a Promo today. So we'll give him the big screen as he announces.
Well, I haven't been canceled yet. However, we will be taking February off because there are certain things that need to be taken care of in Castle Wordsmith. And after that, we're going to dive into a little bit of March Madness. More details on that, but also season 2 will be starting in March. So if you haven't heard, the bird is the word, and you should also go and listen to all of season 1. There's, I think, 36 or there's a few episodes of it. I'm in some of them. My predecessor, who is incompetent and ignorant, is also in some of the episodes. Enjoy them. They are intellectual sometimes and stupid other times. It's about balance. Poetry of a Promo. Go listen.
And you can find the Wordsmith on Instagram and Twitter at the Poetry of a Promo. Bobby, your turn.
You'll find me in, you know what? Under 12 hours on Sunday, brunch tomorrow, right here on Love Wrestling. Other than that, you'll just generally find me around. Give me a shout out. Let's talk wrestling. Let's have fun.
How are things over at PPW going?
Oh, awesome as always. We had a great show a couple weekends ago, and hopefully we'll be finishing up the title tournament coming up in March so we can crown our first ever champion. We're down to 4 now, finally. It's an exciting time.
Mr. Carl Carafel.
Well, I'm on the big screen. Thank you so much. I am Carl Carafel. You can find me at TB Talk Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That is my main show, Turnbuckle Talk, as well. You can follow me on my personal Twitter page, which is at K Carafel, Karufel. I do as well a show called Turnbuckle Rewind. There are some episodes to be put out, and who knows? Maybe something else is coming in the future. I'm not going to give too much more word on it just yet, but I can tell you something else really special for your ear holes is coming very soon.
And of course, you can find me on Twitter here at Ed Fry's 12584. You can find me co-hosting NXT as the second part of our double feature every week. Zach and Ella have the first part with Power Out. And then you can find me, Astrid Pizarro, and Cody going ahead and spilling all the tea on NXT. That's NXTEA. As we talk about NXT 2.0, not 2.0. Figured I'd get to there before he does. Otherwise, you can find me.
It's that rent free. It's just rent free.
You're not Pluggo. You don't.
How you doing?
You're only Pluggo's best friend.
We represent each other.
Oh God.
And as his attorney, rent free, baby, in NXT TAE 2.0.
And with that, we're going to let you guys go. Thank you all for joining us. Remember that you can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code LOVEWrestling at manscaped.com. Remember to enjoy yourselves, enjoy others, and love wrestling.